Alright, this is Dallas42 checking in with you. Today we are going to start a new gaming series on 7 Days to Die, the zombie survival horror game. It's been a long time since I've filmed any videos for this channel, about a year actually, so bear with me as I get back up to speed, but I'm hoping to keep this going for quite a while. And the reasons why I chose 7 Days to Die is because it's a game I know and love. I am confident that I know basically what to do in this game, and I can play it without looking like a complete noob. And it's a big game, so a single playthrough will take us probably dozens of hours, which means dozens of videos, and we can stick with this one game for quite a while. So I'm going to go ahead and spin up a new game, and gotta select a new name for it. Vid. And let's see, let's set all these to the default. All the settings on the default. We'll try it that way. See how it goes. And I don't want Navigain. I want a new random pre-gen. I want a pre-gen. Do I want a pre-gen or do I want a random world? Let's do a new random world with... That's fine. I don't know what the seed will do for us. Let's just try that and see what happens. Maybe I should look at this. Okay, let's just roll with that. Messed all that stuff up. Alright, here we go. I think we got it now. Let's give it a try. So my stated goals on this playthrough are to try and get the gyrocopter for one thing, and then I want to identify and complete all the tier 5 POIs on the map. If you don't know what a POI is, stay tuned and I will explain it all. Alright, after a lengthy load process, we're finally ready to spawn into our world. We are in the game. Alright, so at the very beginning of the game, it wants you to open the challenges window with the Y button. So here we are. And it wants us to redeem this quest that we've completed. That's why it's green, is because we've completed it. So we can click redeem or press W and that will redeem it. This explains it. I'm not going to read every word to you. I can explain things as we go along. So here's our next quest. These are challenges. Basically they're like little quests you can do and you'll get extra rewards if you do it. And it's just kind of a way to move you forward through the game. If you don't know what else to do and you're a little bit stuck, you can come in here and look at this. These are all like basic challenges, and then they got more advanced challenges in here. And then these are biome related challenges, and we'll get into all the details on that later. Okay, so if you look in the upper right of the screen, you will see that they have put a way to track the things that we need to do for this active challenge. And in the environment, they've highlighted all the places we can get that stuff. Also at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice it says the Duke left you a note to read. So let's go check that out real quick. Here it is. Press tab to go to your inventory. And here it is, so let's read it. Just a friendly reminder that you pay on time every time or there will be consequences. Next time we won't be so nice. Thanks for the gear, but you still owe us. See you soon, the Duke. I don't really understand the significance of that, but it gave us 100 experience, so it wasn't all bad. Also in my inventory, you can see down at the bottom, we got like a hot bar, and I've got a thing of water, we got a can of chili, we've got a bandage, and a torch. But for right now, we want to use our bare hands and just come up and use the left mouse button to click on these things. That thing that I just clicked on gave us 2 wood. So just keep going until we get all the things that we need. These are all wood, wood, more wood. Okay, we got all the wood we need for now. Now it's telling me I need to gather small stones, and I also need to gather plant fibers. Now plant fibers are not highlighted because if it highlighted them, there'd be like a million of them on the screen right now because every one of these little things is a plant fiber. So we just go ahead and hammer a few of those with our fist, and that's enough plant fiber. And now we need small stones. So here's a small stone, and there's more of them around. So let's see if we can find some more. There's one over here I saw. There we go. Yeah, I've played this game quite a bit, so I kind of know what to do. That's one of the reasons I wanted to choose this game, so I don't look like a complete noob, because it's been like a year since I made a video for this channel. And we kind of want to ease back into it with something that we're familiar with. So now we've gathered all the resources we need to craft the stone axe, as you can see in the upper right corner of the screen. So it wants us to open the crafting menu with tab, select the stone axe in the basics list. This is the basics list. There's a whole bunch of other categories we'll get into later. But right now, this stone axe is at the top because we've tracked it for our active quest. If we hadn't tracked it, it would be down here in alphabetical order. But right now we can click on that, and it tells us that we can use these resources to craft this. So let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so I want to also put this stone axe in my hotbar, and that's actually what the quest wanted us to do. So there it is. And now it wants us to harvest wood and small stones. So it's highlighted some wood that we can harvest. So here's a tree, a dead tree. Just come up to it and bash it with our stone axe a few times. Now you'll notice in the bottom left I got a blue bar there. That's stamina. When you do things like swing a weapon, it reduces your stamina a little bit, and sometimes you might have to stop and take a little rest for a while. The red one underneath of that with the cross on it is your health, so certain things can cause you to lose health, but we'll worry about that later. Alright, so we need some more stones. I think I see a big rock over here. Let's see if we can go find it. Yeah, oh, this is not a rock. It's actually lead. So we don't need that right now. You're also going to find, yeah, this is a resource node. You're going to find different kinds of resources in the environment like this, and if you use the map with M, like these little gray dots, these represent resource nodes similar to what I just found here. Except I'm too close to this one so you can't see it, but okay, so this is a blue resource node, which indicates lead. These are gray, which is probably stone. So let's go over there and see if we can find that. We can also just pick stones up if we see them on the ground like this. I was going to tell you, but I forgot that there was a piece of trash on the ground there that I could have harvested, but I forgot. I got sidetracked. So here's another piece of trash over here I can show you on this one. So right here, you see this, and it's old trash. So if you hit E, it'll take a moment and you'll harvest it, and they have all kinds of random things in them. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. In this case, it had a lot of small stone in it, but the game in the upper right there, you can see I haven't still harvested it because it actually wants me to harvest it with my stone axe. So here's a boulder, and this is stone, so you can just hammer on it with your stone axe, and you see in the bottom right, it's adding stones, and that's all I needed. So now it wants me to craft a primitive outfit. So I'm going to open my inventory with tab, and the primitive outfit is right here, and I need 5 plant fibers and 5 wood. I have more than enough of both, so I can go ahead and craft that. Alright, now I can click on this that I've just crafted, and I can press W or click here to wear it. And you can go to your little character sheet up here, and this will show you, as you saw a moment ago, I was kind of naked, but now I've got some primitive armor outfit on, and it helps you, gives you a little bit of armor. You can look at your stats and all kinds of stuff here if you're so inclined. But for now, it wants us to craft a wooden club. So we know we can craft in here. We click on the wooden club. It's going to cost 5 wood. I currently have 65, so it's more than enough. So we'll go ahead and craft another wooden club. Alright, so next it wants me to craft a bow. So right here, I can click on this. It requires 3 plant fibers and 8 wood. I have enough of both, so I'm going to go ahead and craft that. Now it wants me to craft arrows. So I have to gather small stone. I have enough of that. I got to gather wood. I have enough of that. And I got to gather a feather. I don't have that. So you're going to find feathers in birds' nests, which birds' nests are all over the place. And it's highlighted one over here for me. So you just come over here, and there's a bird's nest. And it had 3 feathers in it, and I only needed 1. So that's enough to craft this stone arrow. 1 of each, got it all covered, boom. And I might as well craft a few more while I'm at it. You can use this button to craft the maximum number, if you ever want to do that. Alright, so now I have 3 stone arrows. I can equip this down here. I kind of like to have my food and water over here on this side. Medical supplies. Torch. Okay, we got that. Can press R to reload it. Now I got a bow if I need it. So now in the upper right it says it wants me to redeem rewards. So I can hold tab to open the radial menu, select the challenges icon to open the window. There it is. Redeem all challenges in the Basics of Survival group. So starting here, we've completed this. All these green ones have been completed. So redeem with W, 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 and this quest was just to redeem all those, so I've done that now also. Boom. Good job, Survivor. You have proved to be capable with much potential. We have marked your map with the nearest White River Outpost location. There you will find a trader where you can buy and sell goods and trade stories with one of our friendly citizens. Welcome aboard, Noah. Alright, so now if you look in the upper right, it's given us a on-screen navigation icon, and it wants us to head that direction. And it shows us that it's 433 meters away. So now our goal is to get over there. And while I'm at it, I might as well just harvest a few more of these basic resources, because these always come in handy. At the top of the screen you can see the time. It's 11:06 in the AM, so we definitely want to have some place to be safe for the night, and the night falls at 2200. Alright, I used that entire boulder up. So we got plenty of time, but you just want to keep an eye on the time and don't get too lost. Don't get deep into something before night falls, and then the night is a little trickier than the daytime, which we'll learn about in a while. Oh, I see a zombie over here. Sneak up on her. See if I can sneak up on her. You can sneak with the control button. Now this bow and arrow is not my favorite. It's not very easy to use, but we'll see if we can make it work. Got her once. Got her. And in the bottom right you can see I gained 400 experience. So that's that. And you can come over here if you want to and smack on her, but you don't get anything for that. She was already dead. Ooh, a chrysanthemum flower. That might come in handy later. So this over here, this building, is what's called a POI, or a point of interest. And in this game there's tons of different points of interests, and they vary in difficulty, which I'll show you later. Another zombie over there. We'll steer clear of him for now. So yeah, that one is pretty big, so that's probably way over our head at the moment, that POI over there. So we'll just steer clear of that, because it's probably full of nasty zombies. There's some more that just popped in over there. I don't have the greatest computer in the world, so I can't really pump all the settings all the way up. So I hope you'll bear with me on that. But who knows, maybe someday this channel will be so successful that I can afford to buy a better computer. One can dream, right? I'm just harvesting any of these like named things. I found some cotton, I found some chrysanthemum flowers. These things might come in handy later, so since I'm going this way anyway, I might as well pick up a few of those. Alright, we're getting into like a little bit more of a residential area here. Oh, we got a crawler. It's coming at me. Just like in the movies, if you get them in the head, it does more damage. So it's good to try to do that. Kind of tough when they're crawling on the ground like that. And it's the early stages, so right now even a little zombie like this is a bit of a challenge for us. But they will get easier as we get leveled up and gain more equipment and things like that. You can also see down here on the hotbar, my stone axe has got a durability on it. That's the little partially filled line underneath of it. And it's about half now. So at some point we'll need to repair that, but not just yet. This is the trader. You can see it has a big T flag flying, and it's in this little gated compound. So this is where our quest is taking us, so let's go in here and see what we see.
Afternoon. If you bring me a cold one, I might give you a discount.
this crusty old guy is the trader Rect that we need to talk to. So let's have a chat with him.
Didn't we agree your first job was going to be free? Damn, this is all I can spare.
So it says up here, Noah sent you a. Well, you're going to have to show us your capabilities. Take this shovel and accept your first quest. Alright. And it says, got any special jobs? Tier 1, intro buried supplies.
Listen up, jackass. You want work? Then show some respect.
Says, let's start you off with something a little easier. Go dig up the supplies nearby that one of my associates left for me. Don't forget you're going to need a shovel. I'll accept the quest.
Just stand there with your thumb up your ass. Go do the goddamn job.
So, doing these quests for the traders is one of the easiest ways to gain experience and get some good loot. And it also progresses your quest. If you hit tab and you go up here to quests, it tracks our current quest. You can sometimes have more than one quest at the same time. And it looks like I still have to... No, this one's completed. Okay. Yeah, I think I completed this one already. That's why it's gray. This is the one that we just took, so we're going to be on this quest. And up here you see it says Tier 1, 0 out of 10. So I have to gain 10 quest points. And this quest that we're on right now will give us 1. So once I've acquired 10 quest points, then it'll unlock Tier 2 quests, which are a little bit more challenging. So this is how you unlock better quests, is by just continuing to do quests. So this is one way you can go about the game, and we'll definitely do a fair number of these as we go along. But for right now, it wants us to go to the marked location, dig up the buried supplies, and once we get there, we have to retrieve the supplies and bring them back to him, and then whatever else is there, we can keep it. So another thing is if we hit tab, we can look up here at skills, and we've already got 4 skill points available, it says up here on the top. So we've already got 1 point in perception by default in all of these, strength, fortitude, agility, and intellect. And then there's these general perks that you can get if you want. And then there's perk books that you'll find in the world. And as you find them and read them, it'll fill these in. It'll unlock these, and you can get improvements that way. And then crafting skills. We will also gain skill levels by reading books that are related to each skill, is how you skill up in this game. So what we need to decide is between perception, strength, fortitude, agility, and intellect. Now, if you look up here in the top few lines, it talks about what your main combat weapons are going to be. So it also says up here, with this highlighted, it says, perception is the measure of your sensory awareness. Increasing perception raises the headshot bonus and dismemberment chance with spears, rifles, explosive weapons, and tools. So those are the weapons that perception governs. Strength is the measure of your muscular might. Increasing strength raises the headshot bonus and dismemberment chance with shotguns, clubs, sledgehammers, and tools. Fortitude is the measure of your physical resilience, and it doesn't specify, but if you look down here, we have hand-to-hand, like boxing type skills. We have machine guns, and those are the weapons that are governed by fortitude. On agility, it also doesn't say up here, but we've got archery, so bows. We've got handguns, and we've got bladed weapons like knives or machetes, but not axes. So personally, and then intellect over here governs robotic turrets and stun batons. So if you want to go robotics, you can go on intellect. Now, I've played this game a number of times, and I'm fond of a combination of fortitude and agility. Fortitude gives you the machine gun, which is a really good all-around gun that you can use for long range to snipe enemies. And if they get close to you and you're getting overwhelmed, you can just open up with automatic fire and just mow them down. So this is a really good all-around weapon. And agility has gunslinger, which governs handguns. And handguns are really useful inside of POIs where you're at shorter ranges with the enemies. And so I kind of like a combination of these two. But agility doesn't have any, well, it has knives. So, okay. So I kind of just want to do a balance between fortitude and agility. So we'll just try it and see what happens. So since I've already got 1 point by default, we can look here. This one allows me to use my fist to stun, knock down, disarm, and ragdoll our opponent. Boost the loot odds of Furious Fists magazines, which increase our hand-to-hand skills. So I definitely want a point in this. So it's going to say, tired of being bullied by the undead, zombies can't bite if you knock their damn teeth out. Knuckled weapons deal 10% more damage. Punches to the head negate infection ability. Stamina costs are reduced by 8% and 15% for power attacks. You know, I really, later in the game, once we get on top of the ammunition situation, we're really not going to be using this much. So if I can avoid putting points into that, that would be better. I really want points into machine gun. So we're going to buy a point in machine gun. This is going to give our machine guns 10% more damage, 5% faster fire rate, and 10% faster reload. And we're going to find more machine guns, parts, and ammo. So I'm going to get a point in that. Even though it doesn't really help us immediately, eventually it will, and eventually it's going to be really good. And same thing over here for Gunslinger. This one's going to give us more damage, faster fire rate, and faster reload with handguns, and find more of that kind of stuff in loot. These are really useful. Then the other things down here are, like, you got these athletic perks. Some of these are pretty useful. I really like Hidden Strike. You can sneak around and get better sneak attacks on enemies, and also from the shadows, which makes you sneak more effectively. So I really want that. And I really want that. What about over here? What do we have over here? We got this one. If you punch an enemy, you get hit points. That's not that useful. Healing factor. Gain health every 35 seconds. That's not terribly important. Iron Gut, your stomach health isn't perfect. Reduce food and water loss from physical exertion. This one is really useful, because this will make any food or water that we consume, it's going to last longer, and that's really important. Cardio, increase stamina regen when sprinting. This is going to be really important, but I think this Iron Gut is the most important right now. So let's get that. And that's all the points I had available for right now. So we'll keep an eye on it. If you see on the bottom, I've got like a purple bar just above the hot bar. That indicates the experience that I currently have. And once that gets all the way over to the right, you'll gain another level of experience. And then below the hotbar, you got green and blue, and that's your food and water. So you got to keep an eye on those, and eventually they will... Uh-oh, we got a zombie heading this way. So with left click, you can do a basic attack, and with right click, you can do a power attack. But I don't think it works with a stone axe, because it's a tool and not a weapon. If you get them down on the ground, just go up and double tap real quick. That's always a good idea. Got him. Alright, so if you see up on the top on the little compass thing, it's showing an exclamation point up there. That's our next place that we need to go for our mission. Also, I don't want to forget to equip our shovel that we just got, because that'll be necessary. I also have a club. I forgot I had that. Just move some things around down here. I should actually be using this if I'm fighting hand to hand. One thing you'll find in this game is like almost everything is harvestable. Like this dead animal here, you can harvest this and you get all kinds of good stuff for it. You get bones and nitrates and animal fat and rotting flesh, and all this stuff is very useful later on. So even in these early stages, it doesn't hurt to just grab a little bit of that kind of stuff. We'll continue to generally head in the direction of this exclamation point out here. I thought, am I not tracking that quest? Is that what's going on? I guess I am. Not exactly sure how far away it is. Oh, there it is right there. Alright, cool. Oh, look, another bird's nest. This one had an egg in it. Eggs are a really good early game food. Alright, so this little marker indicates that we're at the place where we can do a quest. So let's go ahead and do it. So I've activated that, and now it shows this yellow circle on the ground. So it wants me to bust out my shovel and dig on this yellow circle. And after a while, it will it'll do something, and you'll see. I'll show you. So you got to keep an eye on your stamina, because shoveling takes a lot of stamina. So it's kind of better if you go at a bit more of a measured pace like this, so you don't run out of stamina. Because if you get caught unawares by a zombie and you're out of stamina, that could be bad. Sometimes the aiming gets a little bit wonky as you continue to knock the land down a little bit at a time. Okay, so now we achieved kind of a bit of progress, and it now narrowed the circle down. So now we got to dig inside of this circle. I'm keeping an eye on the time at the top of the screen. It's 17:03 right now, and I know that night falls at 2200. So I'm probably going to have just enough time to go and turn this quest in, and then we're going to have to find somewhere to hole up for the night. At nighttime, the zombies get faster, and at this early stage of the game, when we don't have much to defend ourselves with, that's a big risk to be out at night with fast zombies around. So we'll figure something out with that here in a moment. So just keep digging here, trying to get zeroed in on this buried treasure. Alright, so we've accomplished another stage, and it shrank the circle further. So we just keep going inside of the circle. So it must be deeper. Try to show you everything I know about this game as we go along, but if there's anything that's confusing to you and you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. Also, while you're at it, if you're enjoying my videos, please click the like button and consider subscribing so you can see every new video that I come out with. Alright, so I'm getting closer to it, so now it's not even a circle, now it just shows us where it's at. So I just got to get down to it. It's a little deeper than us. Let's keep going that way. These digging quests can be a little tedious. Alright, so we got a search buried food stash. We found it. Alright, so this thing right here is a White River Supplies. That's what the guy at the trader wants. But I'm going to take the rest of this stuff too. And then we're being attacked by a zombie. Alright, let's see what you got, buddy. Now I should be able to do a power attack with the right click because I've got a club now. There it is. It uses more stamina, but it does more damage. In these early days, you got to keep a close eye on your stamina, because if that runs out, you could be in trouble. Alright, so the exclamation mark at the top of the screen will lead us back to the trader. I can actually see it out there in the distance. Oh, look at this. We got a wild pig over here. I'm out of ammo, but... Got him! Alright, that has a lot of meat on it, which is really good for us. And I can use this stone axe to retrieve it. Also gives us animal fat, which is useful in cooking, leather, which is good for certain crafting, bones, and experience. So if you see a wild animal and you have an opportunity to take it out, you should definitely do it. Let me see if I can get some more of these arrows crafted. I only got enough feathers to build one. Okay, that's not good. I need to get more feathers. There's a big zombie over here. This is a big zombie. He's a little bit more robust than the other ones, but he also gives you more XP if you beat him. Let's see if I can sneak up on him. I'm out of stamina. Oh no. Oh, that's because I was sneaking. I shouldn't have been continuing to sneak, because sneaking takes more stamina, so that's why I ran out of stamina there. Just kind of backing up and being careful so I can help refill my stamina a little between swings. If you run out of stamina, you're in trouble. There we are, we got him. I completed a challenge, and I got extra XP for that guy. The other one was only 400, this one was worth 750. Let's take a look at our challenges. Okay, so this one's done. I had to spend a skill point, and I did that, so I get a little extra XP for that. And I needed to kill 5 zombies for this one. I did that. And this one, I met Trader Wrecked, so that one's done too. So each of those gave me a little extra XP. Right now it wants me to craft a land claim block, but there's no point in doing that until I find a good spot to hole up for the night. First we gotta go in here and I'll run over here. Your running takes a lot of stamina, so you gotta keep an eye on that. We're getting there.
It was. Well, you proved me wrong.
Alright,
Take your
so
reward and get the hell out of here.
I finished this quest, and he's going to give me my choice of these things. So right now, at this early stage of the game, I can either choose a pipe machine gun bundle or a pipe pistol bundle, and either one of those will be helpful for me based on my current build. I'm actually going to choose the pistol, I think. So we can ask for another job while we're here. We don't necessarily have to do it right away, but it doesn't hurt to grab one. So it looks like southwest, southeast, southwest, southwest, south. So if I head south from this point and I build my little shelter somewhere in the south, then I'm going to have lots of POIs nearby. So that's a good way to go. So let's try that. Let's actually clear these zombies out of Bo's Market. Or maybe the Jacobs residence. Let's try the Jacobs residence.
For a simpleton like you.
So he wants me to go retrieve the shipment from that place.
Next time, bathe before coming to a job interview.
Let's see what this had in it. Alright, we got a pistol. I'm going to replace the bow with a pistol. I like the pistols a lot better than the bows. Now, ammo is very limited at this early stage of the game, so we want to be very careful with this. And we want to head to the south and find a place to hole up for the night down there somewhere. It's 1940 and night falls at 2200, so we are getting a little low on time here. Definitely. Oh, look at that. Bird's nest. So we want to get to a safe spot for the night ASAP. And I'm very close to a quest area that I have for this mission. But it would be dangerous to go in there at night because it's the zombies move faster at night and they're a little more aggressive, and that would be potentially dangerous. So I don't want to go in there just yet. And there is a nice benefit to having a home that's very close to the trader, because you're going to be going back and forth to the trader frequently. So I think this house right here, the Reed residence, this is a perfect place to do what it suggested, which is to craft a land claim block. Requires 5 small stones, and I've got plenty. And I'll explain what this thing does. We'll put it down in the hotbar. We'll equip it. And now you can see this green box surrounding me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this thing down like right there. And if you hit the E button on it, it shows you this perimeter, this green perimeter. And zombies will not spawn inside of this green perimeter. So now I've got a green perimeter all the way around this house. And if I want to make this house my shelter, then all I got to do is go inside and clear it out, and then it's my shelter. So yeah, this is going to be the place. I better go in here and just try to get rid of all the zombies first before night falls. So this is a tier 1 POI. You can see that because in the upper right corner of the screen you got one single red skull under the name of the POI. And they range in difficulty from 1 skull to 5 skulls. Look, there's a zombie laying down right there, and I'm sneaking, and I can catch her by surprise in the head with a pistol shot. Let's see if it works. Boom. And another one got notified over there, so that's the end of her. Got him twice. Got him. Alright, and he dropped a loot bag. It's always good when the zombies drop a loot bag. This is a random thing that happens sometimes when you kill a zombie. And they always have good stuff in them. This one has shotgun shells, which is not really going to be useful for me, but I can sell it. Cobblestone rocks, and 2 tactical warfare magazines. Now these improve your assault rifle crafting skill, and machine guns and assault rifles, same. So I can actually, you don't even need to take these, you can actually just use them immediately, and it doesn't take up spots in your inventory. See, just that one book gave me the ability to build the next level of pipe machine guns. So that's a really good find. And in the bottom right, it shows a little machine gun picture and a 3 out of 100. So now that's where we're at with our skill on machine guns, is level 3 out of 100. So I'm going to push the pace here just a little bit for a moment because I need to clear this house out before night falls in 1 hour. Otherwise, I'm going to be in trouble. Got him. We'll come back and we'll loot everything thoroughly once it's cleared out, because we're going to make this our shelter, remember. There's one outside beating on the walls trying to get in. Got him. Alright. That one outside's not too much of a worry at this moment because it'll take them a while to get in here. We're more worried about the ones that are inside of the house. I'll explain more about how POIs work when we do our next one. Right now I'm kind of in a hurry to lock this place down before nightfall. Okay, so when you hear that music, it means you've reached the final room of the POI, and you usually have a big battle. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. Alright. We took care of those guys. There's one outside we need to take care of too. So I hit that little key thing on the wall, and that opened up the doors of the POI, so I can get in and out. Take care of this guy before night falls. So this game is really more difficult at the beginning and gets easier as it goes along, as you might have noticed. Intense moment here. Oh, that was nightfall, so that's why the zombies started moving faster. That's what I was trying to avoid. Oh no, I'm in trouble. Yeah, I'm all beat up. If you look on the bottom left, you can see all the things that are wrong with me, and I am a mess right now. So this is not good. I'm going to use this bandage to fix some of that stuff. I'm going to eat some chili because I'm hungry. And I'm going to drink some water because I'm thirsty. And that'll help with some of that stuff. But it's not going to help with all of it. And hey, it happens in this game. So it's not a huge deal. We just do what we can. The good news is I put down the land claim block. So my house here is now zombie free. And no more zombies will spawn inside of that land claim area, the green area that I showed you. So, next step is I need to put down a... First of all, I should probably, like, put a new door in here. I'm just going to get rid of this door, and I'm going to build a new one that we can close and open on our own. Because the zombies won't come in if there's a door there. So here on building, we can build a wood door. Pop it down right there. Alright. Now the zombies aren't smart enough to open the door on their own once it's closed. But they will beat on it if they hear you inside. So that's why I'm sneaking, so that the zombies are less likely to hear me. I'm going to do the same thing on this door. Blockade ourselves in as best we can. I think those are the two main doors. So we should be good at this point. Okay, next priority is I need to put down a bedroll. Kind of like to have it somewhere near the center of the house so that I'm as far away from all the walls and windows and stuff as I possibly can get. We can always relocate it later, but bedroll is a very important thing, and this shows me I'm actually going to complete a challenge if I build this. So, it takes 10. I got 66, that's plenty. I'm going to go ahead and build it. Put it in our hotbar. I'm just going to pop it down right there. So now, by putting down this bedroll, what that does for us is if I die, I can spawn on the bedroll, and it'll bring me right back here to this house, which is a nice thing to have. Then the next thing that we should do is we should build a storage box, a wood storage crate. There it is. Takes 10 wood. I have plenty. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it down right there for now. Accomplished an achievement for that. Now the reason I'm kind of trying to do this stuff is because if you look on the bottom left of the screen, now you can also open up your character sheet here and you can look over here on the right. So I've got a concussion. That's going to reduce my attributes and lower my max health. So that's not the end of the world. It'll go away in 2 minutes or 1 hour and 56 minutes. That's when it'll go away of real time. So that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. This one, however, I've got a mild infection. It'll continue to get worse until treated by antibiotics. Getting hit by zombies or animals will make an infection worse. So this is the big worry right now. Also got a sprained leg. This is going to go away in 5 minutes of real time. That's no big deal at all. But this infection is going to continue to get worse and worse and worse until I can find antibiotics of some sort. And I don't have any, so it's going to take a while to get those. And if I happen to die before I can find them, I can respawn on this bedroll. At the early levels, you have protection against of XP loss on death until level 6. I'm level 2 right now. So if I die right now, there's not really any penalty. It'll allow me to respawn on my bedroll here or near my corpse if necessary. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if so, I've got this bedroll down so we can just respawn there. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to open up this storage crate. Now I always use this little sort container button here. This is really handy. It sorts it into various categories that make it a little easier to see what you have. So anything here that I don't need badly right now, I'm going to put it in this storage crate. This way, if I happen to be out and I die out in the world somewhere, I'm not carrying everything I have on my body. I'm only carrying my essentials, and I can come back to this house and get the other stuff. Excuse me. You just pick stuff up in this game. Like, you can, if you want, you can choose not to pick stuff up, but I've found that almost everything in this game is useful at some point or another, so I just pick everything up. And eventually we'll build more of these storage crates and we'll have them all labeled and organized and stuff. So for right now, that's a good start. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to build a campfire. It takes 5 small stones. I've got plenty, so let's build a campfire. Now, I know, it's not the safest thing to build a campfire right in the middle of your home, but suspension of disbelief will, it's a video game, right? That's a good place for it. Okay, so now that that's there, I can go in here, and I can cook things. I can cook a boiled egg, if I had one. I can cook charred meat. So, this is food. Food is very important in this game. So let's go. I got an egg and I got meat, so we can cook that stuff. And we're going to need some sort of fuel. And so how many charred meats can I cook? I can cook 4 charred meats. So let's put some fuel up here. If you pick up the whole stack and then click the right button, it'll put just one of them down. And you can see here, it's 5 minutes for 5 minutes to build a raw meat. To build 4 raw meats, it's 5 minutes. So we need 5 minutes worth of fuel up here is what I'm getting at. So we just click until it's over 5 minutes, and it took 7 of them to get over 5 minutes, and we turn on. And now we can cook these 4. We can also cook a boiled egg, but that's going to take a water. And water is very precious to me right now, so I actually don't want to do that. We'll put that away for later. Better reload this while I'm thinking about it. And I'm hungry again, as you can see by that little fork and knife logo on the bottom left. I'm hungry again, so as soon as this charred meat pops out of this thing, I'm going to eat one. Oh, look at this. It's a food pile. It has a can of pears in it. For now, I'm going to take that. I'm not going to immediately use it. It gives you 10 food and 5 water. That's a really good thing to have in the early game. But I don't want to use it until I have to, because if I can use food that I've crafted myself, then that's more resource efficient, and those pears might come in handy later. While we're waiting for things to happen, we can kind of loot around. Cupboards in kitchens are a great place to find more food, like this ear of corn. Cornmeal. More cornmeal and animal fat. Rotting flesh. It sounds disgusting, but it's actually useful. Scrap polymers are useful. Iron is useful. I'll show you eventually what they're all useful for. Got food yet? Yeah, we got one. Alright, charred meat. Let's eat a charred meat. It's going to give me 10 food and -5 water. So it's a little risky because it's going to hurt my water, but I need to eat. Food and water are very critical in the early stages, as you might expect. But once you get a handle on things a little later, it's not as much of an issue. Alright, let's search this bookcase. Bookcases are a great place to find books, as you would imagine. In this case, they're skill up books. This one's going to improve my shotgun crafting skill, and this one's going to improve my handgun crafting skill. Now, shotguns are not really useful for me, but who knows? Maybe I might want to use some later. So if I find a book that I haven't read before, I always just read it. And I got one for handguns, which is going to help us out because that's our build. Cloth fragments, always useful. And I'm just kind of hiding out in this house for the night. You don't want to go out and subject yourself to all the zombies early in the game like this. It's dangerous, so we're just going to stay inside and try to loot this house as best we can. You're going to find stuff hidden behind places every once in a while, so keep an eye open for that. We found a pile of books in there. This one has Lucky Looter Volume 3. Brass is the new gold in the wasteland because that's what bullets are made from. Find more brass in loot. So this is an example of a specialty book. It's not just improving one of your basic skills, but it's giving you a special ability. So there's several books like this, and they're always good to find. Again, I'm just going to use it, because why not? We're getting a little dizzy effect from the concussion that I have. I can't do anything about that right now. Another thing you're going to find in this game is that almost everything is harvestable. What's this? Let's just see if we can beat this up a little bit. Oh, it's giving us cloth. We beat up a mattress and it gives us cloth. What's this thing? There's nothing in it to loot, but if I hammer on it with my stone axe, it gives us scrap polymers. This pile of junk on the ground, more scrap polymers. What's this over here? Actually, I could use a shovel on that. It'll be more efficient. It gives us clay soil, which doesn't sound very useful, but actually is. These things over here, boxes, hammer on them, they're giving us paper and scrap polymers. So almost everything is lootable in this game if you really put your mind to it. And in the early game like this, that can be a really big difference maker if you loot some of these apparent junk that's laying around the place. So now I'm hungry and thirsty. I eat that meat. And I'm going to drink. Alright, let's see. We got some challenges completed. Finish that one. Finish that one. Finish that one. Finish that one. Place campfire. Craft charred meat. Eat charred meat. Read a magazine. Complete quests. I hear zombies outside, so gotta be careful. Yeah, keep an eye on these from time to time, because sometimes you'll complete quests you didn't even know you completed. This one I gotta craft building blocks. Okay. Anyhow, it's about 3 a.m. right now in the game, and we've been playing for about an hour, and daylight comes at 4 a.m., so once daylight comes, we can go outside and confront the zombies again. They won't be quite as deadly, and we can go in search of antibiotics to heal my infection, and then we can try to find some more food and water, because we're going to need that soon. So I think we're going to call it right there for now, and hope you'll tune in next time as we'll continue our adventure on 7 Days to Die. And again, if you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and leave me a comment to tell me what you thought about everything. And as we go ahead and log out of this game, all you do is hit the escape button and press exit. The game automatically saves its state, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyhow, thanks again for watching, and I will look forward to more adventures next time.